We got some odds for you. Odds. We got who's gonna take the Dodgers 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. Got the New York Kings 5.5 for 1, 500. Padres for the Padres get 7-1, 7-1, 7-1. You got your
What's up?
you
What's up,
got your
fans?
Houston
That's
Astros
Mark giving his impersonation of a
The
auctioning
auction
off.
guy.
of an auctioneer.
Hey, we could be off to something there. Let's auction off some live bets,
That'd be
right?
hella
Some
funny.
live tickets.
That's like the what's it called, NFT, but for like bets, like for future bets or whatever. Okay, let's ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the continued. We took a pee break to refill some drinks and stuff, so let's get back into it of episode 107 in 3, 2. And welcome back, everyone, to the Comic Bookies podcast, live recording on YouTube and Twitch of episode 107. Thank you so much to our guest, Alex from Treasure Island Comics, our great and wonderful and generous sponsor. This episode, like every week, is brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Today, New Comic Book Day, it is 10:20 at night, so the store is really closed right now, but check them out on Fridays and Saturdays as well to get your stack any way you want them, old, new, whatever. Check us out on YouTube and Twitch at the Comic Bookies. You'll get subscribe and follow. You get all the information and notifications when we go live. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at the Comic Bookies. Email us, thecomicbookies@gmail.com, and you can listen to us pretty much everywhere you listen to to podcasts: iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio.com app, or actually the Libsyn website. You can check us out. So thank you so much for tuning in, gentlemen. Welcome back. Let's continue with the podcast. Let's get into the movie. No, you know what? Let's get into NASCAR. So NASCAR is at Martinsville this week. We took a week off for the Easter weekend, and now we have a Saturday night race, not Sunday, but Saturday night race at the Paperclip in Martinsville. Gentlemen, how do you see this race playing out?
Honestly, bro, every time we talk about these races, we have our websites, we have all the information on these past racers, the success that they've had there. And the biggest thing I look at, honestly, is lap sled. Yeah, wins is huge, of course. Denny Hamlin, 5 wins at Martinsville. Oh, easy. He's going to win. Keselowski, 2. But when you look at lap sled, man, it is literally the Hamlin, the Kyle Busch show. These guys have over 1,400 lap sled between the both of them at this race. And I mean, Logano got his first win last week. Mark Scott, he does have a win. Chase, my guy, he has a win there. I know, there's a certain someone, Kyle Larson, he's already has a win this year, and who's not to say he can go and get a win, this upcoming week. But right now, Kyle's kind of been lagging lately, and I think it might be his week, man. History doesn't lie. Numbers don't lie. In 31 races, how I mentioned, he has 2 wins. 16 top 5s over 1,400 laps led. So I'm kind of liking Kyle, bro.
Kyle Larson or Kyle Busch?
Kyle Busch.
Oh, Busch. Actually, I'll tell you what, man. I do not like Kyle Busch in this race. I think that Martinsville under the lights, yes, Kyle has prevailed there in the past, but how many races has it been since Kyle Busch won?
Bro, he had that season where he was dominating, and now it's
2 years ago when he won the championship.
Yeah, dude, it's the opposite.
I believe he won the Clash this year, right? Didn't he win the first Clash or the one of the duels? I believe he did.
No, I can look it up.
Daytona to start
it
the
was
season.
a duel or a Clash. I think he did win. You're right about that. Yeah,
but that's a non-points paying race. So the last time he won a non-points paying race was pre-pandemic, if I'm not mistaken. So, the guy, he's struggling, and he's good, but the woes just are going to continue, right? It's like we mentioned the stock market a lot on this podcast lately. We've all gotten into investing as the world has with all their stimulus checks, if you will. But
yeah, he won the Clash. Just to cut in, he won the Clash.
He won the Clash. I knew it was something like that, a non-points paying race. But you see, you see the candlesticks, and they just keep going down, 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 down. It's like you think it's going to pop, but it doesn't pop. And right now, Kyle Busch is just not popping. His time is going to come. He's still, my age? Never mind. He's still pretty fairly young, if you will. He's still got a lot more years. He's still going to be a prominent figure in this sport. He's still going to win a lot of races. But right now, I just think that I don't know if it's because JGR or maybe his team in particular is looking forward to the next gen car coming up in 2022. We're gonna have an unveiling actually on May 5th at Cinco de Mayo. If I saw that earlier, I sent it to you.
You sent it to us. Yeah, I'm actually excited about that. It looked pretty dope, like from the silhouette.
All three manufacturers are going to be unveiling that car. The Ford, the Toyota, the Chevy. So I'm excited to see that. But I just think that Kyle Busch, Sean, if you want to throw your dollars on them, I'm willing to take your bet here. I'll be your bookie. The odds, I can't see them right now. I'll try to pull them up in a bit. But I rather take Joey Logano starting on the pole. We know he's no sucker at. There it is.
Ooh, nice. What was more impressive, the mid-speech can open or the synced? There it is.
But how many times have you seen the Miller Lite on the two Keselowski car of Team Penske this year?
Not enough.
Not many times. Not enough. I don't think it's been once because they have cut their sponsorship.
Oh.
And if you notice Denny Hamlin's car, he has to have it 1 week. But FedEx is not the primary sponsorship. They are not on that car every single week anymore.
That's surprising. That's someone that that's like, seems like every single week it's FedEx. Like he doesn't deter like ever.
It's every single week until this year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it has anything to do with Denny Hamlin owning his own team now with Michael Jordan with a 2311. It might have a little bit to do with it, but yeah, I found that kind of crazy. I think that even Joey Logano, he has Auto Trader a couple times in AAA insurance. So even Shell Pennzoil isn't the actual primary sponsor on that car. But you gotta fight for sponsorship in this business. It's cutthroat. It's expensive to run these cars. Like I said, each tire is about $400 to $500, man. How many times do they change these tires? Every time they change tires, it's about $2,000 for the team. Yeah. And they change tires about 7, 8, 9 times a race. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much money they spend $20,000 to $25,000 a race just changing tires on top of fueling the hauler to get there, paying the employees. It is not a cheap sport. And this is why we see year after year why it's so hard to compete. And that's why I've been so high the last couple of weeks on number 99 and Daniel Suarez and that Trackhouse team, by Pitbull. And I can't remember his name right now, but they were doing a great job. And I love to see it. I love to see it because as a fan dating back to damn near 15 years now, just right after, Earnhardt passed, rest in peace, Mr. Earnhardt. But at the end of the day, I've been in this sport for a while, and I know how hard it is to compete. I specifically even got, NASCAR XM radio pretty much just to listen to. I got satellite radio pretty much because I wanted more NASCAR radio. You don't get any information on NASCAR at all. Any terrestrial radio will never play it. Yeah. You either have to go
not here in California
podcasts or you got to go to, but they do a great job delivering MRN radio, PRN, a couple guys over there. But nonetheless, man, I know how hard it is to compete in this sport. And that's why you got your top dogs. But when you can get a number 99 Trackhouse team or anybody smaller, I respect it to all ends. And I hope that coming up in 2022, that this whole generation with new next gen car, whatever they want to call it, feel like they've had the car of tomorrow, the 6th gen, the whatever. But I hope that this next car can really put the smaller teams more at an advantage at some of these tracks other than Talladega and Daytona, because I'd love to see the smaller teams be able to compete a little bit harder in this sport because it's good for the fans.
Going back to that 22 car, the AAA, I know one race that he consistently raced there, and now we'll probably never see it again, is Fontana. It was kind of weird to see him a couple years of in the red and the yellow, and all of a sudden the first race we go to, as far as me and Sean is concerned, I'm like, oh, shoot. Joey Logano's racing that the red, white, and blue, and then sure enough, like the next couple years, I think it's consistently he runs that color scheme at Fontana, and now he's going to have to.
That's crazy that That's crazy that you point that out, that you actually noticed that, because it's true.
Yeah.
He races all Pennzoil until he gets to that race.
I mean,
and then I think he's all Pennzoil again until he gets to Bristol,
yeah.
when he's like in an Auto Trader car sometimes. But
Yeah.
that's pretty good acknowledgement for some guy that's not your driver.
That's one thing that helps me distinguish drivers, to be honest. Like, the uniform on sports players is always the color of the car. That's like one thing I've done really good at. I know Mike, he's good at with numbers, but for me, it's the color of the car. I do really good with remembering a lot of the colors for these racers.
Sometimes I get confused with like Blaney and Logano, because sometimes they run similar schemes and like the red and the yellow. But going back to Martinsville, that's who I'm kind of going off of what Mark said, but I'm going Penske this weekend. They've been doing really well the last couple years. The last 6 races, it's like Keselowski, Blaney, and Logano are like up there as far as average finish is concerned. They're like all 3 of those guys are like within the top 4 as far as recent history. So, and they're coming off of a win at the Bristol Dirt Track with Joey Logano, his first win of the season. So I think that they're racing really well. I think, don't they have 2 straight wins now with Blaney and then Logano? So I think they're riding high, and there's no reason why they won't win this weekend.
And Keselowski this week, but
maybe.
Nonetheless,
a little sweet.
I mean, I that caught me so by surprise. I would have never thought. I mean, I know Logano's good at Bristol on pavement. Didn't know he was much of a dirt tracker, but geez, man. I mean,
did really well.
I mean, that's why I'm a fan of Logano. Coached him one time on YouTube in go-karts, and he started dead last. And man, he made it to the front by like 10 laps. I was like, this guy is a wheel man. So started driving for my manufacturer, my beloved Carl Edwards. Left the sport, left to the dark side in Toyota. And shout out Bobby out there and the MO. Got to meet Carl Edwards himself in the Toyota dealership. But if we can get you on, Carl, one day, you see the signed.
That'd be a dream interview right there.
I mean, that'd be awesome.
We got to make it happen, man.
We got to make it happen, Captain. Hopefully, my guy Bobby out there in Missouri got a couple connections with Mr. Cousin Carl doing backflips off the roof when he wins.
Send him some flyers. But So who do you guys? If you guys were to make a pick based off of Mark, give us some odds for the race this weekend, and then let's give a couple picks.
I don't see.
Oh wow, okay.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know who to pick. I mean, I could see any of the Penske guys winning. But then again, like Sean said, Hamlin's got a handful of wins. So does Busch. So. I always want to say it's a top dog, but we've had some parity as far as winners are concerned. We've had plenty of people. We've had 7 or 8 different winners so far this year. So who's to say that, the 99 won't win, or the 10, or, shoot, even the 11, like guys who haven't won yet who should win, like the 2, the 11, the 18, like who's to say that they won't win and make it 8 different drivers in the first 8 races. So we'll see. But
so we're looking at the maximum pay relief 500. Yeah. So the top or the EMU or whatever.
Was it blue?
We got EMU? Kyle Busch at 7-2. Oh, Sean must have had the odds before me. He just was.
I had this right here.
He's taking the favorite. Go. Okay. Martin Truex, good Brad guess. Keselowski. That's that 4 that by Team Penske that we mentioned that could get that win. 11-2. Demi Hamlin 6-1. Sean's driver Chase Elliott. I see him as 15-2. I hate these crazy odds. It's kind of hard to break them down. 2 goes into 15 about 7 times, so you're looking a little bit better than 7-1.
7.5. So it's Joey get the 8th grade algebra, the pre-algebra going.
That's it.
You gotta break them down, and it's trash because it just makes them so easy when it's an 8-1, 10-1, 12-1. Don't give me these 2s, 3s, and it's trash. But hold on.
Hold up.
So I'm looking at old odds, guys, here. Yes, I'm looking at old odds. 2020, Martinsville.
So hold on. So not only are we recording when we have a Saturday night race, but you can't even find, what the hell is that?
That's nuts, bro.
What?
That is nuts.
Hey, that's a bonkers.
2021 Blue Emu. Sorry, guys. Let's cut that out. Martin Truex Jr. to win. You got him at 5-1. Chase Elliott 6-1. I knew Kyle Busch was too good to try to be there at the top, and I knew there was something fishy going on here. Brad Keselowski, yet still that Penske forward. We're talking about 6-1. Denny Hamlin 7-1, right there along with Joey Logano starting on the pole. I like that. 7-1. If you're going to be on the pole, you get that best pit stall at Martinsville, that paper clip short track. So I do like that. Blaney 8-1. Kyle Busch, Sean, you're getting double digits at 12-1. There goes Geiga, there goes Batman, and there goes Casual Fling for tonight. You get Kyle Larson at 12-1 also. So 14-1. Kevin Harvick. If you guys would have listened to the pre 100 pre NASCAR episodes, I would told you that Kevin Harvick is going to be, not a force to be reckoned with as much this year, which he isn't. William Byron 20-1, Bowman, Bell, and you're getting all these high digit odds now. But guys, what do you say here? You think Martin Truex is going to be able to beat Joey Logano on the pole? Or are you going to think that Denny Hamlin, that has how many top fives out of how many races? I believe 5 out of 6 races. No, not half. There's only one
out of 30 races. Oh, you're talking about.
There's only one race Denny Hamlin has not got a top 5 in, I believe.
Just to cut in, Aaron, he's asked if we're still alive. Yeah, we said goodbye to Alex, for our guest, and we took about a 10-15 minute break, and now we're doing like the last little 20-30 minutes of the episode. But Sean, go ahead.
What's up, A-Dog? No, going to what Mark said, I mean, Kyle, he's right. He kind of has that Harvick effect right now. They really haven't been a force to been reckoned with. And I think that's the reason why, it could be the race they can get off the schneid. I definitely like Chase. That's my guy. So I would either probably pick Chase or just to kind of pick someone that I normally really wouldn't pick the way he's been racing. I'll go with Kyle. So
Chase is on a hangover though too, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm starting to think too. I mean, Harvick dominated all of last season. Didn't win the championship, but he's still dominated.
Hangover. With Hamlin.
Yeah. I think.
Are we going to have an 8 different?
I think
winner,
I'm going.
though?
Okay, Mark. Where are my numbers with Hamlin? Where are my numbers with Hamlin?
What's the odds of that? That's a good bet.
It's okay. So right now, Chase has not won a race. Has not won a race. Keselowski has not won a race. Hamlin has not won a race. Ooh. They are 3 out of your top 5 favorites right now to win this race. We could be looking.
I think Hamlin's the one who's been knocking on the door as far as a win. He was right there with Logano. Yeah. He made the bad move on that restart. I think he gets the win. I think he's knocking on the door. I think he gets the win.
I think he's going to have to move out J-Lo out of the way, though, to get that win again. Of course,
and you know how they drive against each other. They all say it's fun in games and stuff, but Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin on the track are not friends, and I love seeing it.
I love it. It's a little bit different when they hit that pavement, though, compared to that dirt. I don't think Hamlin's going to cut him a little bit slack, but we all know that Joey Logano did win his championship back in 2018 via being able to give that bumper to Mr. Martin Truex Jr. coming off that last turn at Martinsville, both of them going sideways to propel Joey Logano into the championship where he eventually, guys, don't forget this, comic bookie fans, where he eventually prevailed against the top 3, and I believe it was Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Denny Hamlin. Oh, no. Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch, the top 3. Mr. Joey Logano went to Homestead, Miami, and
watch it at your house, Mike or Mark.
Baby. So congratulations. I think that this is going to be, I like Joey Logano this race. He's got that starting position. I think the race is going to be starting prominently at night, so you're not going to go through much of a transition change at the track where it goes from real daytime to nighttime, and they really got to adjust. I think once they start the race, I think it's already going to be to the ambient temperature where they're going to kind of be expecting the cars to be performing at their best at. So to tell you the truth, I like him, man. I like him with that first pit stall. I think pit stall has a lot to do with it when it comes to a track like this.
Yeah, it starts at 7:30, right? So pretty much you got 7:30 is like right about the time the sun's going down. So you're going to have the same feel on the track the whole race. Maybe a half an hour, maybe closer to 8 o'clock. Not sure how the sun sets in the on the East Coast, but yeah, it's going to be a fun-ass race, dude.
definitely. And
All right.
I'll be looking definitely for Logano. But you know what? I do like Hamlin as well. And I'd actually be looking at hey, why the hell not? Put a couple bucks on your on your tax money on one of these drivers that haven't won a race yet. Hamlin, Keselowski, Elliott, all top there. Why not,
If
man?
this happens, if we get a situation where the first 9 or 10 races we have 9 or 10 different we're gonna run into a situation to where, like, how many different winners do you think we're gonna have? If we have the first 8 races with 8 different winners, how the hell are we gonna not end up with 17 different winners? Like, do you think we're gonna get to a point where you're gonna have, like, the Larsons, the Loganos, and the Hamlins, and like they're gonna start winning a bunch of races, the Truexes, Keselowskis, so we're only gonna end up with like 14 or 15 different winners? Like, how do you think it's gonna shake out?
I think it's gonna shake out. What's gonna make it shake out is the damn, the road courses.
Well, that's all chase.
The damn, the question marks that we got going into this season. We had how many road courses last season? Was it 2? Or no? You had the day.
Yeah,
2 or 3. Now
it was 2.
Like
it was
7.
It was the Daytona and the Charlotte. That's all they had because they didn't have Sonoma. They didn't have Watkins Glen, and now they have 7.
Now they got 7. They got COTA, Circuit of the Americas. They're gonna go up to Road America. Yeah. They're gonna come back here to Sonoma in June, and that's what's really gonna be the wild card, because you're gonna be able to see a Matt DiBenedetto win one of those races. You're actually gonna be able to see, Eric Jones maybe be able to do something. Daniel Suarez that's been running crazy, but when you go to Michael McDowell again, I mean, if Michael McDowell wins another race in a road course, I kind of think the thunder is and the steam is kind of melted off of him. But if he can do something else, I think that, and win another race, that's one less position again for another driver. So you got to start thinking about these drivers, like maybe a lower tier driver getting double wins, right? Because of all these road courses.
Yeah, true. But it's going to be a fun one Saturday night. So let's get into the final the final segment of tonight's show. We're going to go ahead and collide this last bit of the podcast with sports and now comics. Technically comics. I mean, it's a little bit of entertainment. So all 3 of us watched Godzilla versus King Kong. It came out last week on like Wednesday, like Tuesday or Wednesday. So we all took the opportunity to watch it that weekend. So what'd you guys think of it? Me personally, I thought it was good. I would probably, I don't know, I might take the most recent Godzilla, the King of the Monsters, over it, just because we only saw like 2.5, 3 monsters in this whole movie, whereas in the King of the Monsters, you saw like, a dozen different monsters. So it was good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't, and then the ending kind of like, I didn't know. Someone told me, it was like, oh yeah, that's how the original story was or whatever. Like the mechanical, like the robot. I had no idea. Me watching it live didn't do it for me. I was hoping it was going to be an actual monster. It was cool, but yeah, it just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I'm like you. I definitely liked it. A very fun, entertaining movie. And this is like my little bias. I love the movies with the Titans. The Godzillas, the King Kongs, especially Godzilla and King Kong. Those are the 2 most popular that we know of. So for them to come together and even have a little epic, couple of battles, and then to kind of get the backstory into why Godzilla is acting how he's acting. I mean, CGI through the roof with Godzilla, Kong going from boat to boat in the beginning when they're fighting. Then, you see the relationship between Kong and the young, the little girl speaking sign language. So it definitely had a little bit of everything. The one thing that I did see is actually the biggest opening, what is it? How do they say it? It is the largest viewing audience for any HBO Max movie since it launched, at 3.6 million viewers for the opening Sunday, I want to say.
That's international too?
No, that is actually just U.S.
Oh, wow, nice.
Just U.S. So I did see that, which is pretty awesome. Nice. And I mean, in the end, I just think it's because it's such a neutral movie. It's not a hero movie. It's just kind of like, oh, King Kong Godzilla. Everyone knows King Kong Godzilla. Yeah. So it makes it really appealing. But no, I think overall, like how we've talked about it outside of the podcast, like a good 7 or 8. Like it was a fun, cool movie. There's been better, but I just think the idea that Kong and Godzilla were on one movie screen together, that's what made it pretty
Yeah,
badass.
I mean, if you have HBO Max, watch it. It's like one of those. It's like
100%.
one of those things where it's like, come on, sit down for 2 hours, watch the movie. It's got some kick-ass action, decent acting, a decent story. But yeah, dude, it's definitely worth a watch. And then if you are fortunate enough to have theaters open, whether you rent a whole theater to yourself out, or you can go ahead and sit in a bubble or whatever, then watch it too. It's definitely one of those ones where I would love to see it in the theaters, but I'm gonna guess that my first theater experience is gonna be July for Black Widow. I think I'm gonna wait out until then.
No, that train is gone for me, man. I'm that
What, the
excited
theater
for Black Widow at
experience
this-
or the Black Widow excitement?
Yeah, no, the theater. No, that's not the theater experience. The Black Widow theater
Well,
experience.
what movie would you want to see first in the theaters then?
First in the theaters, man. You guys know me. I'm not the hugest movie buff on this podcast, to say the least.
I mean, Mortal Kombat would be cool, but that's like what, sometime later this month or in May or something.
That's the 23rd, actually. I seen
Yeah.
a commercial right before we started.
I could
That's
wait.
a good one too.
I could wait. I could give it. You know what? At this point, man, give me till 2022 because HBO Max, they are not going to be releasing these films simultaneously on HBO Max and theaters. This is something they're just going to run through 2021. I don't know if they're going to change their plans in the future, guys, but what I've read, that it's only for 2021 and not going beyond
Well, that's
that.
good,
So
as it should.
why? You're an
It should
HBO
be
Max
something.
subscriber.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is if it's a dual experience, that's exactly what they should do. Are you saying that come 2022 it's not going to be at HBO Max, it's going to be strictly in theaters? Is that what you're saying?
If it is going to be on HBO Max, it's probably going to be kind of like a Disney Plus where you got to pay, right? 20 something bucks.
That's the perfect thing. You're going to have people who are dying to go back to the theaters. And then if you have someone who's subscribed to HBO Max, you have a monthly fee, and then you have someone paying $30 or $40 because people are going to justify it to themselves. Okay, myself, my wife, and my daughter are going to go watch this movie either way. The $30, $40, that takes care of just the tickets. That doesn't include, I get to save money on the popcorn, on the soda, on the candy, on the booze for mom and dad, So, yeah. For sure, that's genius. I love what Disney's doing. And then
With the exception of COVID, yeah, I agree with you, bro. You can't make these movies free like forever.
Yeah,
People.
It's a business. You got to make the money back.
Yeah,
they're still spending tens or hundreds of millions of dollars making these movies, aka Black Widow, over I think what's well over $200 million with all the CGI and the action sequences and stuff going on. So they have to make their money back. So.
And it's the experience, too, what you said, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, King Kong, I'd be the first to say, that's definitely a theater movie. I mean,
for sure.
Without a doubt, it's a theater movie. Black Widow, it's a theater movie. It's like Endgame coming out or freaking, all these just movies, you want to watch them in theaters.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it would be good for them to definitely have a platform similar to how Disney has it. If there's some sort of pass, you pay a little bit of extra, then so be it. But hey, I'm definitely going to enjoy it this year. Don't get me wrong. We got Space Jam. We have Mortal Kombat. We've already had a whole bunch of fun movies on HBO Max come out for free. So
yeah,
we'll definitely enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, and I mean, so that's pretty much it. To round out the podcast, there's two things that are going on this weekend that we don't really get a chance to talk about, just like with major events. But I will be probably tuning into most of WrestleMania, actually. My wife, she watches that Total Bellas TV show. She's obsessed with the twins, and even though we kind of agreed it was maybe not deserved because they were in for I don't know. Maybe it's like their imprint not only on the sport itself but outside. It could have been the reason why they became Hall of Famers, but the Bella twins became Hall of Famers, and it was actually they did 2020 and 2021's class, so they were last year's class as well. So if they had a WrestleMania and everything like that, they would have been in last year. So all you had to do was pay $10, and you got 4 months of the Peacock Prime, and you watched everything to do with WrestleMania. You got the Hall of Fame thing, and you got the 2 different days, Saturday and Sunday, of WrestleMania. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, it was only $10 bucks.
WrestleMania is going to be a 2-day event this
Yeah,
year,
Saturday,
and it's this weekend.
Saturday and Sunday this weekend, April 10th and the 11th. Yeah, and then the other event is the Masters. So the Masters is a huge thing,
Masters, of course.
even though you don't have Tiger Woods this year, which is very unfortunate. But still, you have a big event that's now going to be played, and I think there's going to be fans. It's down in Georgia. I would expect fans to be there. So two big things that we don't usually talk about, golf and wrestling, but two huge events that we can't not mention as we round the podcast out.
And there's one thing I can't go without mentioning, which I seen on Twitter late yesterday that I don't even know why I didn't text my brothers about. The Rock did confirm that filming started today for Black Adam.
I did see that because I saw the whole thing when they announced Pierce Brosnan. I think within that article they said that, we're going to start filming within the next week or two. So hell yeah, kudos. Let's freaking go with Black Adam. But Mark, if you wanted to talk about either WrestleMania or the Masters real quick, I'm done with episode 107. Take it away, dude.
Jordan Spieth 9-1, your favorite, which is kind of incredible. The way he's been playing these last couple of years, not really up to par. No,
all he needed was that win last week, though, bro. That's the funny thing about this whole thing.
But that you don't. But us as comic bookies and us as trying to deliver the best content to the fans out there. If you guys have stuck with us through these hours that we've been going on, this is a pretty long podcast. Once again, thank you to Alex, the owner of Treasure Island Comics. But yes, man, I mean it's been a little bit of a long time here. But if you've stuck with us, you'll know that sometimes it just doesn't work that way, and there's no value in a 9-1 just because he won last week. Dustin Johnson at a 10-1, Justin Thomas 10-1, Bryson DeChambeau 12-1, John Rahm 13-1, Rory 17-1. Now we're starting to get into a little bit of more value that I'd be more reluctant to be looking into. You got Alexander Schauffele, my guy, 22-1.
That's your boy.
I'm looking at him. I know you're looking at Tony Finau, Sean, 25-1. Mike, you're probably looking at more of a Lee Westwood or a Webb Simpson.
Why is that?
At a 35 or a 45-1. But
why is that?
What?
Lee Westwood. The whitest name on the tour.
Where's my boy VJ Singh though? Where's my boy VJ?
Your boy VJ Singh. You got him right here at I just saw him actually.
I had to step away from the senior tour. Where's my boy VJ?
VJ Singh. Where's VJ?
Yeah, keep scrolling down. I know.
I know, right? Page 2.
I don't even see him on the board. I thought I saw him. He's maybe he didn't even make the cut, man. But it's gonna be a little lackluster without our guy Tiger Woods. Shout out Tiger Woods for driving 87 on that 45.
I saw that. What a moron!
Out there in Palos Verdes. So you're lucky you didn't hit a couple more palos as you went down the embankment. But it is what it is, my guy. You're not playing. Heal up, T Woods. Let's see, man. But I'm looking for some, as the comic bookie fans here and the comic bookie host, always try to deliver the fans a little bit of value. Look for these 22s and 20s to 1s. I'll be looking at Schauffele. Give me a Royal McIlroy at 17, even a Rahm at 13-1. I believe he just had a baby. His wife delivered. So he's got that dad aura going on behind him right now. So, yeah. I'm not looking at Spieth. I'm not looking at Johnson. I'm not even looking at Thomas, man. Give me a DeChambeau and on. So, yeah, let's go. A tradition like none other, baby.
All right, well, let's and then before I hand it over to Sean, shout out to the NWO making the Hall of Fame. Our boy Kane making the Hall of Fame. Rob Van Dam, just classic wrestlers from our era making the Hall of Fame this year. So congrats to them. I might tune in every now and then to a couple matches. There's like a triple threat match or whatever for like the whatever the hell belt is called. But Sean, take us away 107. It was really fun. We're about 2 hours and 8 minutes, but with the break, we're about an hour and 50 minutes. So thank you so much for joining us, folks. Sean, take it away, man.
Super fun episode. Thank you, obviously, to Treasure Island Comics, as well as Alex for the great interview, as it always is. Comic Bookies, guys. You guys know we come in week in and week out, colliding the world of sports and comics, and we appreciate everyone that was able to come on live, whether it was on YouTube or on Twitch. Keep checking us out, man. Every week we're going to be doing what we're doing. We actually have a birthday coming up in a month for Mike, so who knows? Maybe we'll have a surprise on that day for you guys. You never know. everyone just keep being safe. Obviously, the vaccines are coming out, so if that's your guys' preference, get vaccinated. But big picture, just keep being safe. Reservations for Disneyland are going to be coming out soon, guys. Also, so definitely, dang man, Mark's just copping up a storm.
No, I'm sneezing. Like I thought I muted it. Go back.
Good, brother. Not man. Hey, live and in charge, baby. So hopefully everyone again is staying safe. Get your Disneyland reservations. Make sure you're a family of 3 and not 4. They ain't letting you ass in. And again, just keep checking out. Yeah, I know Mike ain't happy. But just keep checking out the comic bookies, guys. You guys know the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, the whole 9. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And yes, I did find out we have another country, so I can't wait till Mike lets us know what it is.
But we're going to hand over to Mark.
Oh, man.
The sneezing
Dude,
fit.
sorry.
Are you ready, Mark?
Dude, it's springtime around here, man. You see the wind kicking up in this damn
mine's getting worse and worse.
Hey, it's all that green, and it ain't grass.
I never had
the problem.
I never had allergies, and starting 6 years ago, every year it just kept getting worse and worse, and now I'm dying. My eyes been itching all night tonight. So sorry, Mark. Go ahead, take it away.
But the problem is that we're gonna go into another drought here, guys. If you haven't heard, we haven't been getting
rain.
We haven't been getting much rain in the northern Bay Area. Even though the snowpack, I think Sean's made it to the snow more than any other comic bookie host on this podcast.
Fires
so
are coming
if you'd
early.
like to tell us about, if you have the snowpack report for the comic bookies, Northern Californian guys out here, but nonetheless, dude, it's been crazy. But I hope we don't go into a drought. My allergies have been kicking up lately. I do not have COVID, guys. I am not currently getting the vaccine at this point, but do not roll your eyes, Mr. Michael Biella, because
me and Sean go
that's my decision.
Sean go tomorrow.
That's my decision.
Mañana.
Because if it's gonna be like influenza and I gotta get it every damn year, it makes no sense to me. But nonetheless, I feel safe. Mike, thank you, brother. comicbookies@gmail.com. Like Sean said, comic bookies on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you, everybody that joined us live. Thank you, Alex. It's fun, always fun. So let's go, man. Let's see a little bit of let's see a hole-in-one this week.
Oh yeah. To round out the podcast, I'd like to let everyone know that we have a new country on the Comic Bookies passport. We have the country of New Zealand. So thank you very much to the one person in Hawke's Bay, badass region of New Zealand, to download the podcast. Thank you so much. And just to round it out, you've heard all the spiel about the Twitter and all those things, but we had a great interview last week with Casey Pratt, a great interview this week with Alex from Treasure Island Comics. We have another interview next week, and we already have another interview on the 28th. So I would love, love, love to have 5 straight weeks, all of April, to be, having people in sports and comics on the Comic Bookies podcast. So if you know anybody writing a book, coloring a book, anything, anybody in sports media, shout them out and tell them to hit us up, dude, because I am looking for someone to jump on the podcast with us on the 21st, and that's been amazing to me because we haven't had too many interviews, but to get 5 straight interviews and to get that much exposure for the show, I'm really excited for what's the future to come. I hope Cons come back this summer, and I'm super, super excited. So for Mark and for Sean and for Alex from TI Comics, this has been the Comic Bookies Podcast live recording of 107. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy each other. Peace the hell out. Barbecue something again this weekend.
Peace.
Peace, and always enjoy each other. A tradition like none other. Comic bookie fans, enjoy this weekend. Enjoy your loved ones. We love you. Let's go,
Here comes
baby.
The cease and desist. We love you guys.
There it
Bye.
is. Like Mike always.